The moment they lose. Most people think they lose because they're not smart enough. That's not what happens. They lose because someone presses a button. And they react immediately. An insult. A criticism. A disrespectful comment. And within seconds they're angry, defensive, explaining themselves, or trying to prove a point. The strange part? The moment someone can predict your reaction, they've already gained an advantage. You've been here before. You send the angry message. Then regret it. You argue with someone. Then think of the perfect response an hour later. You let one comment ruin your mood for the entire day. You give your attention to people who haven't earned it. You waste energy trying to prove something to someone who already made up their mind. And afterward, you realize the problem wasn't what happened. It was how quickly you reacted to it. The real difference. Most people think powerful people know some secret. They do. But it's not what most people expect. The secret isn't intelligence. It isn't confidence. It isn't charisma. It's the ability to create space between what happens and what they do next. Because in that space, most battles are won or lost. Why emotional people become predictable. Imagine someone insults you. Immediately you want to respond. Correct them. Embarrass them. Put them in their place. You feel the urge. The pressure. The need to act. Right now. And that's exactly why emotional reactions are dangerous. Because reactions are predictable. The moment someone knows what triggers you, they know how to move you. Push here. Get anger. Push there. Get defensiveness. Push somewhere else. Get insecurity. Once the pattern becomes predictable, control becomes easier. This is why manipulators focus on emotion first. Not logic. Emotion. Because emotional people reveal themselves quickly. And the more predictable you become, the easier you are to influence. Why calm people feel powerful? Have you ever noticed that some people never seem rushed? Never seem desperate? Never seem emotionally cornered? Even when everyone around them is losing control. It isn't because they don't feel emotions. They do. The difference is that they don't immediately obey them. They create a pause. A few seconds. A moment to think. A moment to observe. A moment to decide. That pause changes everything. Because reactions belong to emotion. Responses belong to strategy. And strategy almost always beats impulse over the long run. Which is why calm people often appear powerful even when they say very little. If you've ever reacted too quickly and regretted it later. Comment, pause. The cost nobody talks about. Most people think emotional reactions only create problems in the moment. But that's not where the real cost shows up. The real cost appears later. In damaged relationships. Missed opportunities. Lost respect. Bad decisions. And conversations that never needed to become conflicts. Every reaction teaches people something about you. It teaches them what upsets you. What controls you. What distracts you. And unfortunately, some people pay very close attention. That's why emotional control is not just about staying calm. It's about protecting your leverage. Because the moment someone can control your emotions, they often control your attention. And where your attention goes, your decisions usually follow. How smart people get manipulated. Most people think manipulation only works on weak people. It doesn't. Some of the easiest people to manipulate are intelligent people with poor emotional control. Because intelligence doesn't protect you from emotional reactions. In fact, sometimes it makes things worse. You become very good at justifying your reactions. Very good at explaining why your anger is reasonable. Very good at defending decisions you should have questioned. The problem isn't intelligence. The problem is certainty. The moment emotion takes over, you stop looking for truth. You start looking for evidence that you're right. And once that happens, your intelligence starts serving your emotions instead of guiding them. That's why some incredibly smart people make incredibly foolish decisions. Not because they couldn't think clearly. Because they never stopped long enough to try. The real reason most people lose. Most people aren't weak. Here's the twist. Most people don't lose because they're weak. They lose because they're predictable. That's different. Weakness can be improved. Predictability can be exploited. Think about it. If someone knows exactly what will make you angry, they can control the conversation. If someone knows exactly what will make you defensive, they can pull your attention away from your goal. If someone knows exactly how you'll react, they can start steering the entire interaction. The problem isn't emotion. The problem is becoming automatic. Because automatic people are easy to influence. Conscious people are much harder. The 5-second advantage. Step 1. Notice the trigger. Every reaction begins somewhere. A comment. A criticism. An insult. A disappointment. Train yourself to notice the trigger before you obey it. Awareness is the beginning of control. Step 2. Create distance. Don't answer immediately. Don't text immediately. Don't decide immediately. Give yourself 5 seconds. Sometimes 10. Sometimes longer. The goal isn't delay. The goal is clarity. Step 3. Ask one question. Before responding, ask, what outcome do I actually want? Not, how do I win? Not, how do I get revenge? Not, how do I prove I'm right? Ask, what outcome serves me best? That question changes everything. Step 4. Control your attention. Most people lose because they focus on the trigger. Effective people focus on the objective. The insult isn't the objective. The criticism isn't the objective. The outcome is. Stay focused on what matters. Step 5. Let other people lose control. You don't need to join every emotional battle. Sometimes the strongest move is staying calm while the other person becomes emotional. Because calm people think. And thinking people usually make better decisions. The skill that changes everything. The people you admire most are rarely the fastest reactors. They're the best responders. They don't let strangers decide their mood. They don't let criticism decide their behavior. They don't let pressure decide their choices. Because they understand something simple. The world will always provide triggers. That's unavoidable. But your reaction is still yours. And the moment you realize that, you become harder to manipulate. Harder to distract. Harder to control. The opposite problem. But reacting too fast isn't the only trap. Some people have the opposite problem. They think forever. Analyze forever. Wait forever. And miss opportunities because they're trapped inside their own heads. In the next video, we're going to explore why intelligent people often sabotage themselves through overthinking. If you're committed to becoming harder to manipulate, comment, control. Because most people lose the moment they react. And most people win the moment they choose not to.